Hello, and thank you for joining me for another Alex on Tech and iTWire TV interview. I'm here today with Natalie Fair. She's the APJ Regional Lead at PagerDuty. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Alex.
Now, Natalie, PagerDuty started in 2009, but let's fast forward to the present. What is at the heart of PagerDuty's digital operations story?
So PagerDuty is the operations cloud for the modern enterprise. And I like to also say it's not just for current modern enterprise, but also enterprises that are wanting to modernize. What we see is that digital operations is really at the core of many businesses today, which has largely been driven by quite strong tailwinds with digital transformation, with DevOps acceleration, migration to the cloud. And they've all really become top priorities for organizations worldwide. And we really provide a platform that allows organizations to support that motion. We're very much a multi-product offering and platform that really is there to try and support all different types of businesses in what we call interrupt work. So work that's really taking developers and engineers and IT operations people away from the day-to-day jobs that they're really there to do. With that, we're supporting around 670 integrations. So you'll find that any of the tools that an organization may have, we have the ability to integrate to and really provide a seamless platform from an operations perspective.
Yeah, and I know that on the website, I mean, obviously you talk about DevOps, and on the website, on the front page, it says revolutionize operations. And I'm thinking that PagerDuty should talk about RevOps.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could think about doing that.
I always come up with crazy marketing ideas because it's just that's the way my mind works. Now, PagerDuty is holding its PagerDuty Summit in Sydney today. So what are the big themes of the event? And what are the top three things that you want IT teams to take away and really remember?
We're very excited to have everyone back in person again for our first in-person event. And really, like what PD is trying to do and the message we're trying to send is that traditional ways of working have really changed. And organizations now have so much more complexity when it comes to the environments they have to manage. And of course, customer experience is at the forefront of what organizations are trying to make sure they uphold to. And so, we very much want to, portray the message that old ways of working need to change. And whilst we understand, particularly in regulated industries, that some things do need to be the same, that we really do provide a platform to modernize and, as you say, revolutionize the way that organizations run their cloud environments, their IT environments. And it could be, from many different use cases, whether it be from a security perspective or whether it be from a customer service perspective, that there's a platform out there that we can provide that will really help to support those new ways and hybrid ways of working as well.
Now, at Summit, you hosted a two-way conversation about value. So can you please share how important value is to your customers?
Yeah, I mean, we really, not just in selling the product, but we very much invest in our solution consulting, professional services, customer success groups to ensure that our customers receive value in our products. And what we tend to see is from an ROI perspective that within 2 months, organizations will really look to see return on their investment when they start to use PagerDuty. And what that typically will mean is that those customer-facing platforms that they really do rely on from a revenue perspective, their brand and their business is really being driven on the digital platforms, that we're really able to make sure that we can support what it is that they're trying to do and what their businesses are trying to do, and then ultimately provide a better work experience for engineers and developers out there who now many of them are on call and many of them are having to support these platforms 24/7. And so if we can provide a proactive way of working that allows even the engineers to have a better way of life, then, not only are we providing value to a broader organization, but we're also providing value to the people who have to support those customer-facing applications.
Yeah, I did read the blog post that explained how the PagerDuty name came into being. It's a fascinating read.
Yes.
It's to do with actual pages, so look for that
Yes.
one there. I'll link to it in the article that accompanies this video. Now, Natalie, one of your roles as APJ Regional Lead is driving education and awareness about PagerDuty and your role in leading customers to digital operations maturity. And, digital transformation and the ability to keep digital operations online is really sophisticated in 2022. So can you please tell us more about your role and the things that customers are coming to you for help with?
Yeah, and so, my role is really to help organizations across the region. So it's not just here in Australia and New Zealand, it really goes broadly across all of APJ. And more recently, as we go into our new entity in Japan, it's, extending over into Japan as well. But what I try and do is help organizations that are really trying to modernize, understand how other organizations have done it. We work with a lot of digital native organizations, and even, at the summit, we'll be hearing from Chris Venter from REA Group, from Sarav from carsales.com. And we really see these as some of the early pioneers in these newer ways of working. And what we really try and do is, and part of my role, is to make sure that I can help organizations that are wanting to go that way understand what they need to do it, but as well as how we can actually support them, not just from a platform point of view, but also from a solution architecture and solution advice perspective, and help them understand what that journey can look like. As well as, as I mentioned earlier, we've got a lot of regulated industry organizations, particularly in banking, where they still do have to adhere to very strong process and regulation, what it is that they do. But my role is also to help them understand that we can make sure that that hybrid environment is possible, where digital teams have the ability to work at speed and to resolve issues quickly, while also supporting, the things that they need to be doing from a regulation perspective as well. I also like to very much promote, from a women in technology perspective, and look at providing some examples of how, myself and other members of our team have really been able to succeed in this industry. And I find that as a really important thing for me to do in my role as well.
You did mention some customers there, but are there any other local customers that you'd like to tell us about and highlight?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've also got Wesfarmers One Digital, which is, a lot of people don't know that brand, but they are a newer part of the Wesfarmers group that are really providing a digital-based platform to help support a number of their brands, which is very, very exciting. We'll have Fiona Muller coming to talk from Telstra. And so Telstra have been a long-standing customer of PagerDuty. We've been very fortunate to do a lot of work with their cloud team and digital teams as well, which has been exciting. And so they'll both be there to talk. And I mentioned Chris Venter as well. So realestate.com have been a customer of ours for many, many years. And we partnered with them as they have grown as an organization, and, their user base has got larger. We've been there along the way as they've grown as an organization as well. So there's some of the companies that we'll be hearing from at Summit.
Now, before we wrap up, what else would you like to tell us about PagerDuty that we really need to know?
I think one thing that, we're looking at now is around the process automation side. And so all organizations are trying to understand, well, how do we do more with less? And how do we do things faster? And PD acquired an organization called Rundeck. We're now calling that process automation. And that's really around how can we look at automated diagnostics when it comes to responding to incidents? How can we look at things around automated resolution of incidents? How do we look at automated service request? And so these are different areas that we're trying to focus on that can help an organization do things faster, and look at really automating some of the manual tasks that otherwise are taking, a lot of time to do. If we can help organizations to automate these things, then it provides the opportunity for their teams and their developers to be focusing on other pieces of work as well. So that's a really interesting thing we're doing, as well as, expanding into use cases that we haven't traditionally been in before, things like customer service operations. So how do we look at bridging the gap between people that are really on the front line in trying to help resolve customer problems, and engineers on the back end that are actually resolving the issues? And we're really joining the dots between those two with Zendesk and Salesforce and trying to make it a lot more seamless. So some exciting things that are happening now, and we'd love to be able to talk to people about it.
What's your final message to iTWire viewers and readers, and to your current and future customers and partners?
We'd love to talk to you. So, if you do want to have a conversation with PD, please feel free to reach out. We have a great team here based out of Australia that service all of our customers here in Australia and across the region. And we'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
No worries. Well, Natalie Fair, APJ Regional Lead of PagerDuty, thank you for your time, and have a great conference.
Thanks, Alex.
Bye-bye.